back to the sketches. Let's see if I can do this one a little bit quicker than the last one. What do we got here? This was, I don't know, circa 2001 to 2003, possibly. I would go back and forth between a couple of different sketchbooks. I don't think I ever filled up any of them, to be honest. The samurai and the ninja battling each other. Oh, this is so cool. This is from scripture. I go back and forth between like the video games, martial arts, scriptures, and people that I know, friends, and the female figure, of course. But this is from Luke 8, 4, 7? I don't know. If I could only touch his clothes. This is the woman with the issue of blood that just had faith enough to touch Jesus' clothes. The running figures, I think I may have been copying this one, but I tried different angles for the first time. Really, really tough. Oh, this is from December 28th, 2000. Wow, good for me. So this one was done before the last video, but this one was my favorite right there. Check it out. 2000 again. Female figure. I think this is copied from a piece of art that I saw somewhere. I don't remember if I was looking at a reference directly. May have been, but not an entirely slender female looking out the window. Hiro Yui from Gundam Wing, in his exercising with a pool of sweat underneath him. Always really looked up to Hiro Yui. Always wanted to be him. Gung Fu. This was really funny because in Kung Fu, maybe you're doing these sort of moves, but this guy, he looked like he was actually carrying a cutout, not necessarily that this guy was being thrown or anything, but that's fun, right? So this is a year, in the next year, 2001, so just 12 days later or so. Bruce Lee. This was a shot of Bruce Lee jumping backwards here. Again, rough sketches, still working with something very graphite-y, a rougher type of pencil. Me and my friend Frank Burns in our this design outfit that I came up with. I think I actually made one for Frank. I don't know if he ended up wearing it or what, but I do seem to remember making all these different battle costumes because we were so into stick fighting. It was just the thing to do, and it consumed our everything. Check it out, the maple thicket. So instead of the bamboo thicket on one of these video game levels in this kendo game, this is us wearing I think kendo masks, kendo gloves, and kung fu pants, cargo pants. But again, having these different designs, different attacks and stuff. The thing that we ended up using instead of just broom poles, and definitely, I think only one of us ever bought a shinai, Japanese training sword for kendo. But I had taken a hockey puck and sawed it in half, and then drilled by hand a hole in the middle to put a PVC pipe, half-inch PVC pipe through it, so that we could practice PVC, because PVC was super, super durable. And again, I think these were none of us had kendo helmets, the men, but we did have one of us anyway had a fencing mask to protect ourselves, which would have been great. Okay, so some characters in the world of fantasy, right? Broadswords and long bows. And Mozart. Check it out. This is a copy of a drawing on a CD case. Again, I would always feel like this is cheating, right? It was always easier to copy a drawing than it was to copy a photo. And even if I was copying a photo, it was still cheating. Still was not pleased with that. I don't know whose email this is. Feel free to find out for me. It's for characters from that Outlaw Star show that I really enjoyed. really like his posture there. I don't know if I was copying that or not. Oh, the goblins. I think this is just from memory, or just an idea from the Goblin King from the Hobbit cartoon. And, you know, me trying to draw like Frog Man. I think I was really trying to draw something like Gollum. You know, the depiction of Gollum in the Hobbit cartoon is super weird and interesting. Check it out. So this was a copy of some video game character. Obviously, you know, for a chance to draw the female anatomy, but you know, the shading was really on point, and the lines were really accurate to what I was drawing. I think I was drawing this from memory, maybe not. I can't remember. But I found some images of comics that I'd never even read online, and was copying the style, the artwork, and the female figure. Some battle warriors, missile launching and shooting at each other, video game related stuff. Some very professional looking female here, an interesting hairdo. Various attempts to draw a bunch of things and me failing at it over and over again. Various attempts at drawing lips. You notice I not very frequently wanted to draw on the back. That did not happen very much. Probably because this happened, right? I would draw it with a super graphite-y pencil that would fall apart. This is drawn from a picture of myself, and didn't finish the legs. That was interesting. The year 2000. I think this is based on a Yoshitaka Amano drawing. I think I did this with, yeah, that's with crayon, black crayon, because Yoshitaka Amano did it. So, I mean, I had to draw with crayon. So, a couple of colors. Aerith, Cloud, Final Fantasy VII. I think I was just drawing some random dude character. I don't think I had an exact plan. First black guy I ever drew. Super cool. Kind of a creepy character with the duster. He's wearing a duster from the Wild West, or from the duster that Jean wears in Outlaw Star. I don't remember what this was from. Asian man talking to police officer. He was tipping up his hat, and he's telling him that there were two people. They're about this high. He's wearing shorts. I don't have any more information beyond that. Oh, and like this old version of how I viewed myself. I think when I was really young, just a child, I had this vision of myself staying blonde and still retaining the same roughly the same haircut. And there was a female figure, whatever I imagined in the future, not based on anyone in reality, but she had kind of messy, rough hair. And I don't know if that was from something I dreamed up or based on something I had seen somewhere. But it's interesting. It's interesting to think about that romance. Again, same exact people. I call this one Can We Not Meet? The last one I called My Love, Her. No idea who this figure was. Not, again, like I said, not based on anyone, but this like imagined version of myself in this, you know, some hero form, and the way I looked as a young child, all grown up. Oh, and this is that same person that does Celtic singing. I think I was drawing her live. She was singing the Oxford Carol, which I just fell in love with that song. It's just gorgeous. Creepy, like, security guys with security dog people? I'm not sure, but really like that. They're creepy. Creepy is good. Hey, there's that Celtic singer again. I think this is based on a drawing, or I'm sorry, based on a photo of her at some point. Myself and my friend Louie with lightsabers. It's kind of fun that I drew the lightsabers with that stretchy look, like when they're moving, the light drags with them. And primarily I drew them with negative space, with the shading around it. Same, myself and Louie. Yes, so here's that character again. Here's Mega Man, or my friend Louie, and here's that girl. She looks really disturbed. We're at this beach somewhere. This is Samus Aran coming, obviously, because I gotta mix video games into everything. And but this character, she has a very sad look. And note how she's holding onto my cloak, my duster that I'm wearing. And it's just an interesting image of myself trying to comfort her on this beach. And I remember having this imagined idea of Mega Man, represented by my friend Louie, having a thing with Samus Aran, which is kind of fun. And then again, that person, she just is haunting my sketch pages. I have no idea where the hair comes from, but it's wildly messy. And this one's titled "She Attempts." Not sure. Interesting clothing design here. A clasp. The buttons underneath this vest of some sort. But yeah, lots of detail in the eyes there. The nose. I remember my noses. Boy, they all look very, very similar, don't they? This was based on something I had drawn once. I really didn't like it because I never wanted to. Here's my X. I didn't like it. I didn't want to erase anything. I would always draw too hard to begin erasing. So when I shaded too much, she started to look like she had a beard, and so I was like, well, that's not supposed to be the case. Okay, here was kendo. I was so interested in kendo, and I'm so sad right now that kendo is not available unless you're going to Zoom classes, which I'm not. But kendo, so interesting. There was an art to sword fighting. It was Japanese. It was original. I'm so thrilled that it's in my area. I'm sad that it's not available right now during COVID-19 social distancing. My friend James and his friend Adam, both wearing fencing masks. They both did fencing, but then they would wear multiple jackets to protect themselves as they would just strike each other. Really freestyle, using the bamboo shinai swords. Another kendo shot. This was actually based on a drawing. I'm sorry, based on a photo that I saw online that I sketched. And so that turned out pretty cool. Now that I'm looking at it, I know exactly what's going on here. But it's really funny to think about how long I've gone thinking about kendo, wishing I could participate in kendo, and just thinking, boy, the armor is so expensive, I'll never be able to afford it. Here's more kendo stuff, just a bunch of people, someone jumping up and kicking from behind, a guy dodging and flailing, and their strings, the strings that show which side is the back of the shinai are just all broken off. They're just falling. I call this one kendo genocide. Hey, genocide. I just thought it was a cool word. Unfortunately, it's not that cool now that I grew up and realized what it meant. Something here Zak ripped off. What were you doing, buddy? Arabian-looking guy on horse. Yes, the image of the false prophet preaching and teaching bad things, right? And all the people that are following. My favorite part was this. If you look really, really close, those people right there, their eyes are just all black. She's got this fake doll, kind of head tilted, blank look. I really thought that was awesome. Very expressive of what the followers of false prophets were like. Although I think if that were to be based on reality, they'd be perhaps a bit more expressive. This one of my favorites. Ton of negative space. I called this one represented personal apostasy, and it shows this man over a ledge. I don't know which side is the ledge, but he is in a state of personal apostasy or sin, and he is fallen away from the truth. And this was that side of me that I felt like I couldn't recover, and You know, there's a lot going on emotionally in the years of seminary, but during my teenage years, I drew this like inner turmoil side of me, which I thought turned out really kind of beautiful in its own way. On to the next one. Oh yeah, this is from a show, I think it's called Big O or something like that. There was this robot assistant, of course based on that show, and same hair drawn on my friend Jesse. There's like this very humble sketch of Jessie, super fun. I don't know if this is based on me drawing her in person or somewhere else, but classic image, classic attire. Yes, this exaggerated, like, rough version of my friend Frankie, who incidentally has passed away just a few years later. My friend Louie, who I've lost a lot of touch with, would love to connect with if I could spend some time up in Pennsylvania again. Both a sword and a shotgun, and in his coat a katana, and his classic fedora and trench coat that he likes to wear. And my friend James, classic long blonde hair, a ninja sword, the short, straight Japanese sword. I don't know if that one's a real one or a fake one. Doesn't seem very historically accurate. And a rapier across his back. Two different modes of fighting, very essential. Some hands. I believe I was drawing this based on some photos. And, yes, the drawing from my friend, not mine. I don't draw like that. And let's see, battery. Hand holding a battery. It's different batteries, I'm not sure. Never really stuck with that hand drawing thing. This is interesting. This is someone who I'm still connected with, albeit very distantly. The model was someone I knew at church, and this is all about the clothing. This is fluffy sleeves, kind of loose, fairly transparent sleeve. This skirt, I'd drawn it somewhere else. It's kind of neat. It's like a hakama, Japanese pants for kendo, but it's a skirt because the hakama is basically a big skirt. This, as I wrote here, it was a maximum modesty because it's still pants and yet it's a skirt. And that's it. And undershorts, I call them undershorts, above the knee, underneath there, just in case, like, the wind blows up your skirt, you don't want to see anything, right? Interesting, my juxtaposition of drawing. It's interesting the juxtaposition of my drawing, the female model, and also having this interest in modesty, which a little bit contradictory, right? The hero scene, myself saving Jessie from a truck hitting her because she doesn't see a 18-wheeler or hear an 18-wheeler coming behind her. She's checking something in her purse. Not sure where these things came from. Ancient Japanese drawing that I copied. Some Dragon Ball Z-esque characters. Oh, this was a young woman at church, which I think doesn't look anything like her, but it still kind of looks like her. But I think this is a live drawing that I did, and I really am really thrilled by the hair. I thought that was cool. She's pulling on one of her strands of hair, looking at it. She's got her legs crossed and leaning forward on her chair. Kind of a cool one. Lots of shading on it. Some ridiculous looking fight scene of multiple people battling. The Matchstick Painter. I think it's from this weird book that I tried reading, and I I know this is based on some sort of art I had seen somewhere, with the hair done like this. Definitely not just my idea. I think just some people. Oh yeah, sermon listeners. I don't know where this is based on, but a father playing with the baby as he rests, the mother sitting just ahead, listening intently. Kind of a beautiful scene. Self-portrait of myself, probably getting ready to go to like a school dance or something. Titled "Girls Are Like Toys R Us." Girls are cool. Kendo outfits with lightsabers, back flipping, head shaved on the side, still long ponytail. Unique. Kind of interesting dark things going on here. This person seems to be calling out dramatically to this character. This character seems to be part of, he's wearing a beret, military style, and but still looks very poor. It looks like she's from a different era. And then this looks kind of like a friend of mine who's like in some despair for sure. Looks like he's been stabbed through or is committing seppuku or something devastating like that. Really, really interesting emotions going on there. Yeah, speaking of emotions, I don't know what this is based on. I think I was copying this from a photo somewhere. I don't know if I was copying that one, but some futuristic sword and soldier. Oh, like how did I say? Shinobi Katana, a hidden sword. What do ninjas in our day look like? What do assassins look like? Modern day ninja, with technology still doing various Spider-Man sort of things to take out their target. Cool outfit. I always wished I could have created. Lots of different instruction on what the different parts would look like. I always liked the idea of a very tight jacket that had very elastic, stretchy joints so that you could move in it easily, even though it was very, very tight. Definitely based on some drawing. Also based on a drawing, I'm sure. Someone sitting there with their foot up around their leg and the other person massaging their foot backwards. I don't know what that's based on or if I saw that in real life. But yeah, I don't know where this came from at all whatsoever. Oh yeah, this is super duper cool. In Final Fantasy VI, there's a very obscure painting that's like probably made up of about 27 pixels, and I took my own vision of it and I expanded it. It was about this a painting of a woman, and she was surrounded by flowers or something, and here she's only surrounded by thorns underneath the cloak of this mysterious monster, and that monster like took the female in the painting and was wrapping her up. It's like a kind of a creepy thing if you think about it, right? And then you had to battle that monster. Another one of my weird fighting scenarios. Boy, like action, it's kind of hard to do. I'll have to work on that at some point, even though I haven't done that recently. Just looking back, it reminds me of how cardboard cutout people can look. Gotta be a Jedi. I loved Star Wars. Sue me. Ah, yes, Justin Smith from the cover of, I think, Our Heritage, the book about church history, right here kneeling in the sacred grove, seeing his first vision of God the Father, Jesus Christ. See, lots of mixture. Really interested in a lot of different things. Costume design, another big part. Various things. A male nude right here. Check it out. Studying some different parts of muscle. Still not getting it. That butt looks kind of flat, if you ask me. The camel pose, the twist. sun salutation and yoga. I got into yoga. What can I say? Very odd depiction of my friend Jessica with short hair. She really hates this one, I think. But I really like the work I did on all of the grass. That's heavy. Oh, this guy's got like a snake coming up out of his back pocket. That's frightening. That guy looks a little threatened by him. I'd be threatened by a guy in a fedora with no shirt and rolled up pants. Oh yeah, check out this Jedi, like not a Jedi robe, but a Jedi like brown long coat. I think I actually did end up executing it when I made it. I don't know if this is based on something. I don't think it was based on anything, just from imagination. I really like the hair. She looks a little surprised. She's like covering up like someone caught her in the shower. Inappropriate. Right? All right, next to, of course, an image of Jesus and him, tending to and blessing the children. And skater again from my friend Jesse. Oh yeah, here's the method. Like, this was like halfway good, this was bad, this was good. I really do like how the eyes turned out here. A lot more interesting. Check it out. Some pose. I may have been copying something here. Lots of graphite use. Messy stuff. This guy trying to play a cello like a guitar. Yeah. Whatever. Not sure what this is meant to be. I see some like fingerprints here. That's interesting. Let's see. Oh, that's me testing out the different pencils. HB, 2H, 4B, 2B, and the different phrases I came up with. My love left found, my mind less tampered with, the tools with better use, the reason the cat stays. Deep, maybe. Possibly deep, possibly not deep. Oh, this is from like Greek artwork. Like, I don't know, like, I thought it was Greek. I always think of Greece when I think of these type of costumes, but these were stone sculptures in walls, I believe. And I should have drawn more stuff like that. That was really cool. This guy's kind of creepy. He's like standing on the wall and looking at you. He's got really dark eyes. I don't like that guy. But hey, creepy's good. Self-portrait. Some sort of action pose, exercise pose of some sort. Striking with 2 fingers. You'll like that. Oh yeah, and this was from something else, and I didn't really get to execute it. And then I drew over top of it. See, this is why I don't like erasing anything. I could never fully erase stuff. That's why Photoshop is so good, right? Yes. Crying in the shoulder, weeping with next to, I don't know, something dramatic. This one I super liked. I didn't even touch the eraser for this one, hence eraser untouched. My friend Jessica, I really like the profile of the face. I felt like I nailed it right there. But it's, turned out really kind of neat. She had a really cool vest that I really liked. I think that was like one of the things, cross between drawing the things that I like. Alright, and then my dad didn't draw this one, but my friend Frank drew this. It's super disturbing. Someone has like spikes growing out of their back, and he called this one falling. Super freaky, Frankie. But hey, artists, art is just art. I requested this one from my dad. This is a Japanese pagoda, Japanese building, 2001. Super cool. Look, my favorite part of what he did was this like really blurry tree in the background, and then with some like emphasis on detail, just these little sketchy lines. Super cool. Dad is good. Dad is really good. And then he did one more. Lots of graphite here. These are like the classic drawings my dad did. They look like people straight out of the 70s. perhaps people he knew or people that he had seen. But yeah, classic shot right there. Yeah. Life is only a fleeting moment, if a dream must stay. Wow. Now that I think about that, that's pretty cool.